Hey guys, it's Matt. We have new cartoons and drawings from Paul. We'll go over some of the old ones too from Norm, the Bathtub Rebel. Will probably lead us to a general Norm the Normie conversation. What is the NPC? The raging debate. Is it the same spiritual entity as you that just lost its way? Or is it something completely different? We also have some new posters from Bill to show you. I'm going to show you some posters that really take you into the warped and demented comedic mind of Bill. For example, look at this one. And by the way, if you're at work or on the forklift, I'm going to try to do this the best that I can, even though much of it is visual, to still be able to, have you listen to the video at work where you really don't have to see all the details. If you can come back and take a look at the details of the posters and Paul's drawings, I hope you can later. But I'm mindful that many of you are doing other things. So this is from Bill. This is an insight into Bill's divers on the download. There I was on another routine dive when it just hit me. Why didn't I take that office desk job my brother-in-law offered me? Matt, what does this have to do with not milk or reality? I don't know, but in a way it does it does have a lot to do with the things that we talk about. If the NPCs regarding how they view the California wildfires can be on the download, Bill's saying anybody can be on the download, divers can be on the download. But first, I guess I'm going to have to address this. I tried to avoid it, kept coming into me from all these different directions. Jerusalem Post, my favorite publication and yours. List of 33 hostages to be released. 33 hostages. Oh no. Here it comes again. 33 hostages to be released in first stage of deal published. Pending the cabinet's approval of the deal. Is this a Trump illusion? Trump art of the deal? Maybe. Reality, just stop it. Stop it. The release of the hostages would be able to begin on Sunday, but not before the NFL kickoff of the playoff games, the Prime Minister's office stated. Article January 17th, 2025 by Amichai Steiner-Steen. Guys, I'm sorry to preempt the fun we're going to have with the posters and the cartoons, but I need to do this for just a minute or two. I am firmly convinced of our new mantra here. Most of the old guard agrees. I understand some dissent. Even if it's real, it's fake. In the old days, I was there with the first grade truthers. All we could do is yell out, everything is fake and coordinated by the secret societies. Matt, you're not going to do this again. People are at different levels. Just give me a minute and a half, old guard. Give me 1 minute. Everything is coordinated by the secret societies. We've seen so many hundreds of thousands of things pulled off. That's impossible at this point. Even if it's real, it's fake. We live inside a reality script. I'm saying even if it's real, it's fake. Maybe they're actually going to be hostages and people were actually detained. It is possible at this point. It's the first grade truther that yelled, it's all, Matt, the 33 gives it away. It's not that simple anymore. It is not that simple. The fact that they put the 33, it's all orchestrated. It's all the Freemasons. It's not that simple anymore. I've seen too many thousands of things pulled off to perfection, which we mean at this point hundreds of millions of people in on it, keeping quiet. No, most of what goes on, if you were there, you would say it's real. Even if it's real, it's fake because they are acting out a script. They might not be the same spiritual entity as you. I'm much more on the side that hostages will be released. But even if it's real, it's fake, meaning it was laid down in the script of this reality a long time ago. Hopefully, we are the type of entity that does not participate in the script. I'm not going to resort back to, because at the 33, that proves it's all fake. It's not that simple anymore. Now, what I'm saying is just blasphemy to anybody that's not close to the graduate level truther. First through sixth grade truth researcher, blasphemy. The 33 is there, Matt. It's all coordinated by the secret societies and fake. They hate what I'm saying. There's much more going on here than coordination from the Trilateral Commission and the Council on Foreign Relations. But if you're yelling out, look at the picture, Matt. That ain't nothing but stable diffusion. I could do that. I could do that right now in Midjourney. See that, Matt? Ain't nothing but AI image render. It could be. I'm not saying. Am I here arguing it's 100%? It has to be real. I'm telling you. I'm saying I leave it on the table because what do I know, right? Studying the dark reality every single day with no time for 15 years, seeing thousands and thousands of events pulled off to the degree where everybody around us buys it and believes it. No, I put when that happens for 5 years, you put other things on the table. When that happens for 10 years, those other things on the table have more credibility in terms of that's how things might actually work here. And when it happens for 15 years, what you put on the table is possible. That even if it's real, it's fake. Meaning if you're there, it seems real and actually there's going to be an exchange, yet in this reality, it's still fake. Wrap your head around that. After 15 years, no. It would be ignorant for me to just say, secret society. So I don't care if the 33 is here. That doesn't mean it's planted by Freemasons. It's a reality marker that tells us about the reality script itself. Okay, can we have fun now? Good. More drawings to come, but a revisit of the old drawings and cartoons from Paul. Now, Norm the Bathtub Rebel, he still has 1 foot in the old normie world, but he's trying. He's watching conspiracy videos. He detects there's something not quite right with the world. Maybe where Matt was in 2007, say, where you may have been in 2014, and people like Greg back in the 80s. I mean, there's people here that saw through the reality trick 20 years before I did. There's older people that on the day of the JFK with Lee Harvey Oswald were saying, this isn't right, or that isn't right. So there's people, of course, many in our community blow me away and you and many others in terms of how long they've seen through the trick. So Norm here, the characterization that Paul seems to be putting forth is he struggles. One day he's back in the normie world, but then he's trying to watch conspiracy videos. So in this case, this is the first one, but the best way to get started. Matt, you stupid conspiracy, son of a beach. Which part of reality? And I say, which part of reality is fake? Which part is not quite right? All of it. All of it, in my opinion, except the natural world. When I say that, many of you come forth and say, no, Matt, even the natural world, the hawk that flies over, the vole that pecks at your toe when you're in bare feet in the grass, it's all part of the illusion. I'm open to agreeing to that, but at least we can find a commonality here, where the natural world of the trees, the grass, the squirrels, that is not the not milk cloud. That's the dark reality, the asshole dark. They're two separate things. One is a dark cloud that sits over the game board or the natural world. They still may be both illusory to a degree. Although, my cat, Cooper, Gouda, Puss, Boots, well, okay, we don't have to go through the whole list of cats. Are they real entities? Absolutely. There's no question about it. Matt, they're just programmed to act like they love you. No, absolutely not. Am I a victim of the cat parasite? Maybe, but we'll talk about that some other time. Even if I am, I'm happy to have it. No, they're real entities. People that have a relationship with their dog, like Etta, it's a real entity. It's a spiritual entity. It's not just some background thing of a fake world. No way. But the background world of the natural world, whatever that may be, is different than not milk. So what I'm saying here, as Norm, we used to say, fires his rubber duckies against the wall. We have to get back to that. That's where that came from. And I talk about fake this, fake that, fake that. Which Norm, just coming out of the normie world, trying his best to open his mind. I think, which part, Matt? Which part of the presentation? Which part of the news is fake? Which part that comes from the Library of Congress? Which part of history? Generally, all of it is part of the trick to distract you from what you're supposed to do. All of it. And it takes a long time for someone at Norm's level to wrap their head around that. Other than your cat or the certain parts of the natural world, it is all a trick here, every bit of it. And even if the parts of it that seem benign, that needs to be overcome so you do what you need to do here. Takes a long time for somebody like Norm to, all of it doesn't mean anything. What does that even mean, all of it? It takes a long time to see that. This is a new one from Paul. I'm going to move it up because it relates to what we were just talking about. Norm ponders. Still 1 foot in the old world, in the normie world, 1 foot trying to be open-minded and to move into, say, as a truther, he would be second or third grade, maybe not first grade. Now, how can a real being exist inside a fake world? How can a real being or spirit like you exist inside a fake world? If that's true, then even if it's real, it's fake, confuses me. Well, that is as confusing as it gets, I would say, to anybody that's not close to the graduate level truther. Even if it's real, it's fake. Real events playing out. The car accident was real. Yet this whole place is a script of some kind. It doesn't mean that the events didn't actually happen. World War I, a tremendous script. World War II, a tremendous script. And not just because, well, it was played by both sides by the rich industrialist related to the old money from the Gilded Age that played both sides and funded Hitler's war machine. That the Rockefellers or the Rothensteiners and the old money of the old money that's still today worth trillions, that's not the end, of course. That's just part of the script. They may not even realize, these not-milk minions, most of them don't even realize, in my opinion, their role inside a greater script. World War I, if you went out there, there's real death, right? World War I, it's not fake. Even if it's real, it's fake. The best example is World War I. Who could possibly think all those elements could come together in a real world and people would be fighting each other? Matt, you're not just going to say it stemmed from Archdick Ferdinand again. Well, obviously, I know that's the excuse that they put up. I'm not saying it all came from that. That's the excuse that they floated to the world. But the first part here is the most important part. How can a real being exist inside a fake world? Well, that's why we came here, in my opinion. Your opinion may be slightly different. Why you agreed to come in here, or whether you agree with the concept of higher self, put a piece of itself in here, whatever it may be. It's to overcome this tremendous, incredibly complex trick. If you can overcome that, ignore it, and get in touch with who you really are and what you need to do, if you could ignore millions of breadcrumbs that this reality throws at you, a real being inside the very definition of a fake world, then you've done something. That's all you need to do, in my opinion. Carry that confidence into the moment of death. This incredible, elaborate trick, I saw through every bit of it. I've done enough. And if you don't want to do anymore, I'm not going to do it ever again. Hey, higher self, you asshole, get us out of here. We're done with this horse shit. The confidence at the moment of death, I saw through every bit of it. And to this day, my family and friends still think I'm crazy, and so be it. They might have another 1,000,000 years of work to do. Now, this from Bill, he may have had a different meaning in mind, but I think we can use it to piggyback, just as Jeff Bezos is doing here, based on our last discussion just a minute ago. Don't go chasing rainbows. No, it's don't go chasing bones. B-O-N-E. But Bill, you're not saying, okay, but see, let's go back to what we were saying. This entire reality, what is it, wants you to go chasing the rainbow. What's the Skittles thing? That's taste the rainbow. I don't want to taste that. I don't want to taste. That's some sort of sick illusion or something. I don't want to taste your rainbow. That's sick. This reality is about go chase rainbows. Oh, fame and fortune and go. And the conspiracy is the Skittles for us. Try this brand and this flavor, and here's Bigfoot, and here's the Council on Foreign Relations, and here's the 7-Eleven job application, and here's the Adreno, and here's this. I mean, thousands of different flavors of Skittles, all laid out, thrown on the floor before the truth researcher. So don't go chasing rainbows. That's the whole reality trick. In this case, there's another meaning. I'm not gonna say it. More appropriate for free voice, but don't go chasing rainbows. Now, everybody knows the number one star in Bill's posters over the years is Elon Musk. Nobody loathes Elon like Bill does. And I'm a close second, but I didn't think anybody could eclipse me. When I see Elon, the sense of disgust, the bile, I can't even breathe. I have to leave the room. I can't look at the image. But Bill's worse. But in terms of the number 2 or number 3 stars, without a doubt, Bezos and Melvin, Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. For example, what does Jeff Bezos know about his own space program called Blue Origin? I was going to say nothing, but that's not entirely accurate. He may actually believe this is a real rocket ship instead of just a hot water heater. He may actually believe at the Jeff Bezos level that this thing actually goes into space. Why does he have to be privy that it just goes up and doesn't go anywhere or just flies behind a green screen? He may actually believe in it. His not-nilk masters may need him to believe in it, or it may not be a good showing. Just because he's worth his 200 and some billion dollars, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean he's in control of anything or is in the know. In fact, it's usually the rule of opposites. The more money he has, the less he probably knows. The more money he has, the more spiritually inept or low he is. It's the rule of opposites. Like we talked about, they assign a number in terms of net worth to these billionaires. I don't even know. It's 200 and some billion, 300 billion. Who cares? What does your inner knowing tell you? Is he really in control of all that money? Or does your inner knowing tell you that he reports to other, you could say, not nilk masters? I would say it's more along the lines of he may have to place a phone call to buy a second corn dog at the state fair. Maybe it's not quite that. Maybe he can go out and buy his Ferraris and his Porsches. That's nothing. In terms of making decisions as to where Amazon is going, I get the feeling he's just basically Tweedledee or Tweedledum. I showed you this one from Paul a while back. Norm the Bathtub Rebel, Norm the Normie, finishing up watching one of my presentations from the bathtub, where it looks like I'm closing by saying, biggest question, does it distract you? Thanks for listening. And Norm says in the box off to the right, oh, by the way, what do you think Norm should sound like? Put it in the comments. I mean, I have no idea. A little Jimmy Stewart, but I can't really do Jimmy Stewart, but I don't know. Let's just go with it. Matt, what do you mean, Matt? How am I distracted? How is all not real? My expensive bathroom is real and paid for with real money. Matt, you stupid conspiracy son of a beach. Real money. See, that's where Norm, that's a first grade truther comment. Real money. An entire money supply worldwide based on nothing but trust. The greater fool theory. At least in the old days, they pretended pretty well that money was backed by something. They told you about something mysterious called Fort Knox. They probably did fill one vault with gold and take some cameras in there once every 10 years. Oh, that's where the money's backed. They're probably, you know what was in Fort Knox? Probably the equivalent of $50,000 of gold. If they had hundreds of millions of it, still doesn't matter. It doesn't even back 0.00001% of all the currency that's floating around out there. There's no backing whatsoever. At least in the old days, they made it look good. Oh, Matt, don't you know Nixon took us off the gold standard? Guess what? It was never on a gold standard. Only one person every 40 years converted their money into little flakes of gold. You went into the bank and said, I want to convert. You could do it. Oh, it was silver. You couldn't even get the gold. That's how fake it was. I want to convert my money. You put the cash up here on the desk, First Bank of Arkansas, and I want my silver. And we heard that on the truth community. Oh, they would give you silver. But you know how many people actually wanted the silver and converted it? Like one person every 50 years. And they'd give you a little bowl of silver and say, all right, get. You ain't got no account here no more. You ain't got no standing here. Get. You take your little bowl of silver. Look at that. See if that can feed a family through the winter. It's ridiculous, the entire concept of money. Yet, I guess if we start talking to our Uncle Joe about it, we're just one of those people. Oh, and before we leave the cartoon, I want to point out, Paul has a lot of little details in here, just like Bill does. Bill, the level of detail Bill puts in the posters is you almost need a magnifying glass, but Paul has little breadcrumbs too. See the box, front and center, a little bit off to the right? It says Rubio's Bath Bubbles. So Norm must have actually attended one of Senator Marco Rubio's bubble party locations of Central and South Florida. Soon to be Secretary of State Marco Rubio bubble parties of Central and South Florida. Act now, be one of the first 10 at the grand opening, and get free penis ring. In this one, me on the TV there in front of the bathtub. I forgot about this video. It took me a few seconds to, what is WICAL? Oh, the Worldwide International Consortium Against Lawn Signs. I forgot about that video. Oh, we have to make fun of the lawn signs again. Consortium Against Lawn Signs. So my t-shirt makes it official, I say. And Norm is continuously yelling to his wife, who can't be seen, top left. Janice, what voice did I use? Janice, that Ukraine sign on the lawn, take it out. We look stupid. You look stupid. And at the bottom left, Janice from the other side of the door, what? How do I look stupid? It's your sign, Norman. Who's Matt? By the way, my neighbor's We Stand with Ukraine sign came down not long ago. Not because he chose to take it down, he moved. It would still be there. I don't know how it's been there since day one. The blue and the gold, We Stand. I've never questioned him like I did in that video where it says Worldwide International Consortium Against Lawn Signs. I should question him on camera. Well, how do you stand? I won't use any names. Let's just call him Rob. Rob, how do you stand with Ukraine? You put a sign out. How do you stand? Well, I'm in support. Well, what do you do? Have you gone over there? Have you sent supplies, boxes of food, or what? You put a sign in. I see that, but what? How do you stand with Ukraine? What have you actually done? Nothing. You put a sign in. That's not good enough. Most people just put a sign in, and when you say, "What have you done?" they say, "Nothing. My bad. Nothing." One more reminder, when you look at one of Bill's posters, if you have a good monitor, try to zoom in on some of the details. Even the scene behind George Soros there. George Soros is the small head, kind of right in the middle, 12 o'clock, and they're all in cloaks and hoods. I wonder what secret society are they in, Bill, that maybe one that's not even known to the outside world, but that you have to look at the details if you have the right monitor. And once again, he's got the ass crackers product placement. Look, Jared Kushner brought us pigs in a blanket. Who's hungry? Real pigs in little blankets? Bill, off to the far right, we're going to go around the room and identify everybody, and you can come up in the comments, try to offer up what society this one would be called if you want to name it. I don't know who the first one is on the far right, Bill. I know that the assistant ski instructor, that's Trudeau. Wonderful job he's been doing, by the way. Gives you chills thinking about how powerful and strong a leader can be. But next to, it looks a little like Joe Rogan. I don't know who that is, Bill. You got to tell me. The assistant ski instructor, the Jeffrey Epstein and Steiner, Hillary, of course, Elon is front and center. Pictured like the ultimate Sith Lord Palpatine, that's Soros. Bezos, of course, Melvin, that's Bill Gates, and Caitlin, what's her name? Caitlin Bruce, I think it is. In a lot of these Norm the Bathtub Rebel cartoons, I'm closing my presentation, and it seems to leave Norm very frustrated. He's not fulfilled because he's just not at our level. He doesn't quite get it. So I'll close and say, then that's the greatest news of all time. And Norm says, what's the voice again? Matt, why do you keep saying that, Matt? Matt, do you know what it's like living with my wife? You conspiracy son of a beach. Okay, Norm, first grade truther. He's watching, though. He's watching video. He's trying. He's not completely in the ship of fools. What would the people around you, your friends and family, they wouldn't be watching, they wouldn't be investigating anything. They wouldn't be at least trying. I mean, first grade, second grade truther. I mean, he's firmly fixed on the ship of fools, but at least he's inching towards the back part where Rose climbed up and Rose was going to jump. He's getting there. It's going to take a while. But this is way better than most of the people around us that, I mean, they wouldn't even listen. They don't listen for even 1 second. Anything that goes against the grain of what Isaac on their ship of fools is serving them in their drink. It doesn't happen too much anymore, people calling me negative, but it happened recently. And it relates to what I'm saying here. It's the greatest news of all time. There was a comment, not Matt, you're so negative in this. What? So negative? Always focused on the dark. When I've constantly reminded people hundreds of times that what we've determined reality to be the greatest news of all time, the faker it gets is the best news of all time for you. What you don't want is the world to start looking more like what Stephen Hawking says it is. If this world or reality is some sort of fake construct or a Matrix-style script, then that is the best news of all time. Forget for now where it came from, the all-powerful being that created it, whether it was benign, your God, good, bad, evil. Doesn't matter for now. If it's a construct, who's the star of not the minions running around? They're playing the trick on you or on the masses or on populations. The star is you. The minions running around performing, doing their little this fake act and that fake act and this cooked up war and this cooked up scenario. You are the audience, or that maybe the star is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. The center of it all, a reality based around you. Well, does that no? That means you didn't exist before birth, and the atheists are right, and you just like I don't know, like flesh formed in the mother, and it just it's random, and there's no soul, there's no spirit, there's nothing that goes on. You didn't exist before. It's just a bunch of flesh that somehow moves around. So why is the whole reality centered around us? The more fake it becomes, and the more the trick is revealed, then that is the best news of all time. Winning the lottery is not the best news of all time. That'll get you jacked off a few times. Knowing you existed before birth and your timeless being is the only thing that matters. And we don't even need any more proof. The proof that I'm not going to say it. You have we have proof. I was like, you have no proof. We've got tons of proof. I ain't going to say it about the Adam's apple. There couldn't be any more proof that we existed before birth and will exist after death. We don't have to do this anymore. We're just for fun. Paul paints cartoons. We get some laughs. We were gathered here today to get through this thing called life. That series will continue. This reality has become a joke, and we have to get through it, though. We don't want to, we have more work to do. We have things to do for ourselves. But overall, in terms of the situation we're in, no, it's not the Saturn moon matrix and trapped and triggered. It's the greatest news of all time. Thanks for listening.